Imagine you have a magical potion bottle floating above your head, filled to the brim with a swirling, violent liquid called focus juice. When that bottle is full, you have the cognitive fuel to write masterpieces, solve impossible problems, and build empires. Now, meet Jason. He's a modern knowledge worker, sitting down at his desk to tackle a massive, important project. But almost immediately, his focus juice starts leaking. An email pops up, so he stops to reply. A WhatsApp message buzzes, and he checks it. He takes a quick scroll through Instagram just to take a break. Jason feels like he's staying busy, but every time he switches his attention, a piece of his focus juice gets permanently stuck to the last task. Psychologists call this attention residue. Your brain is literally dragging the weight of that last distraction into your current work, slowing your cognitive momentum to a crawl. By 5 o'clock, Jason has fired off 50 emails and caught up on a dozen Slack channels. But the project that actually determines his career success hasn't moved an inch. He is exhausted and stressed, yet he's produced nothing but average work. He is trapped in the shallow work black hole, where the constant friction of task switching ensures that no real progress is ever made. To escape this, Jason had to learn the fundamental formula of the modern economy. High-quality work produced equals time spent multiplied by your intensity of focus. Traditional workers think the only way to do more is to increase the time spent. They grind through 80-hour weeks at a low intensity, but because the multiplier is so small, their actual output remains mediocre. But by operating at a laser-sharp intensity, you remove the residue that normally drags down your brain. This allows you to condense the output of several distracted days into a single afternoon of absolute clarity, producing work that is both faster and higher in quality. By eliminating the mental friction of task switching, the brain enters a high-performance state where complex ideas finally begin to click. Jason realized he couldn't just will himself to focus. Willpower is a biological battery that drains throughout the day. Every time you have to consciously ignore a notification, you're draining the very energy you need to do the work. To succeed, he had to build a structural philosophy to shield his mind before his willpower battery ran dry. He could have gone monastic, renting a cabin in the woods with no internet, or bimodal, splitting his week between collaboration and total isolation. Instead, Jason chose the ritualistic approach. Every morning from 6 to 9 a.m., his phone goes into a timed lockbox and his internet is shut off. He creates an unshakable daily appointment that doesn't require any morning motivation to maintain. Elite focus isn't about being more disciplined. It's about building an external system that makes distraction physically impossible. This ritual only works if your brain is actually capable of focus. Tech companies have fundamentally rewired our minds to seek immediate dopamine hits at the very slightest hint of boredom, making us feel antsy the moment we aren't being stimulated. You cannot expect your brain to suddenly focus for 4 hours at a desk if you spend the rest of your waking hours feeding it constant digital noise. Jason started practicing productive boredom. While walking his dog or sitting in traffic, he intentionally kept his phone away, letting his mind wander or chew on a specific problem. He was lifting mental weights. By tolerating the discomfort of being alone with his thoughts, he was building the cognitive muscle required for the heavy lifting of deep work. Finally, Jason had to confront his fear of quitting social media. He used to worry that by leaving these platforms, he'd miss out on a tiny networking opportunity or a minor update. This any-benefit mindset is a flawed trait. It assumes that if a tool offers even a sliver of value, it deserves your most precious asset, your attention. Instead, you must use the craftsman approach. A master craftsman only selects tools that have a massive, clear, and positive impact on their core goals. Jason ruthlessly deleted the apps that were designed as monetization traps. If a tool spends more time stealing your focus than it does building your career, it has to go. Keeping a distraction because it might offer a minor benefit is a form of professional self-sabotage. With the notifications silenced, Jason's new reality is calm and organized. His system has taken over, and the frantic busyness of his old life has vanished. While his colleagues remain overwhelmed by the noise of administrative trivia, Jason is solving the high-value, complex problems that the modern economy actually rewards. In a world where shallow, repetitive tasks are increasingly automated or outsourced, the ability to produce at an elite level is the defining differentiator of the modern workforce. The digital world will continue to get noisier and more demanding. You can either allow that noise to drain your potential, or you can lock the door and do the work that changes everything. As deep focus becomes a rarer and scarcer commodity, the ability to disappear into a problem is the one skill that makes you truly indispensable.